and welcome to another episode of Elevenses with MZ. In our last episode, I showed you how to create some acrylic pours, and I'm just going to grab a couple of them to show you what we did last time round. These are a couple of examples of what I ended up making. I'm just totally in love with this look over here. And then this one too, really like it. So the fun thing about acrylic pouring is that when you do these pours, whatever tray you are using to put your canvas in when you pour the paint, it kind of drips all around the tray. And if you're using a plastic tray like I was and you let the paint dry for a couple of days, you will get a skin like this that you can easily peel off the plastic tray. Now this is half of the piece that I actually had, and just look at it, so very beautiful. And there are so many things that you can do with it. So in today's episode and our next episode, I'm going to show you how to use these skins to make some nice little gifts. So for our first project, which we're doing in today's episode, we're creating a little notebook. And I'm creating this notebook to actually encourage me to do a little more tangling. I am a CZT and a certified Zentangle teacher, and I do like to practice some new tangles from time to time. And actually I did do an episode on Zentangle for beginners, so if you want to have a look at it, I'll link it in the description below. So what I'm using for this project is 2 of the Zutter Bind It All acid-free pages. This is pretty close to the kind of size that you use for a Zentangle tile, but I'm just going to measure it out for you and let you know. This is 4 by 4 inches, and I believe the Zentangle tiles are like 3.5 by 3.5 inches. These covers also are by Zutter, and they come in multiple different finishes. You can get them in canvas, you can get them in this craft board, you can also get them in whiteboard, but I chose the craft board ones. And the idea is basically to cover my book covers in this acrylic skin, and then use book rings to bind the book. So I did one just to see what would happen to the acrylic skin if I use the kind of glue that I'm using. I'm using Yoo-Hoo, and it's a strong glue, and sometimes it does react with certain materials. So I just wanted to be sure that it wouldn't do anything to my acrylic skin, and it really didn't. So we're going to start. This is a super simple project. Just pick the part of your acrylic skin that you want to use. Supposing you really like this part, just lay your book cover on it and cut, leaving a little bit, I would say around 1 centimeter around, so that you can fold it in and make it look nice and neat. So the first thing that I'm going to do is put some Yoo-Hoo on my cover. You can use any kind of glue that you want, but I do recommend using a strong glue. And then I'm just laying it on my piece over here. I'm cutting the corners so that when I fold the skin over, it doesn't bunch up on the sides. Again, I'm just putting a little bit of Yoo-Hoo. This is such a fun project to make, to use yourself or to give as gifts. These skins are really versatile. In my next episode, which will be this coming Tuesday, I will show you how to even turn these skins into jewelry. So as you can see over here in the corners, because we clipped them, we made those little triangles, there's no overlap, there's no bunching. And we've got a lovely edge all around. Now I've cut some scrapbook paper that I want to put on the inside. For this one, I edged it a little bit with washi tape, just to show you that that's also an option. So there you go. I'm not going to put any washi tape on this one, but if you wanted to, you could go for something that's really, really thin, or something that's a little thicker, but I wouldn't go for something very thick, like normal washi tape size on a book that's this small. So these are both our covers, looking lovely inside and outside, very neat, and this is very durable. It's actually hardened acrylic paint, so nothing's going to happen to it. The next thing that you want to do is to mark your covers where you want your rings to come on. So this is 4 inches, and I'm going to put a ring at 1 inch and 3 inches. So I'm just going to reach for a pen and make a very slight mark over here and over here. Now this tool is possibly one of the best investments that I have made. This crocodile will basically punch through anything, and I really, really love it. I'm going to use the bigger hole. As you can see, there's this one small one, and then you also have the option of a bigger hole. So I am going to punch it on the desk, and I apologize in advance because the camera is probably going to move. So, and it goes through so easily. This is very hard card, actually board, I would say, and the crocodile went through without any problems. There you go. So those are both your holes made in the cover. Now I'm going to do the same for the pages. I'm going to do 20 pages at a time so that I get it done in 2 rounds. I'm going to line them up. And it goes through those 20 pages without a problem. Yep, no issues. Maybe I should have taken 15 and not 20, but that's not a big deal at all, really. And then I'm just going to make sure that everything is realigned before I do the second punch. Going to do the same with the other book pages. I'm using 2 colors. I'm using this lovely cream and the white. You can also use just scrapbook paper and embellishments instead of acrylic skins to create books. The bookbinding technique is the same. Creating the covers is again the same. You can create bigger books because these book rings pretty much come in all sizes. You can find them in your local craft store. And there you go. You have a lovely little book that you created using acrylic skins. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I can't wait to see you next time when I show you how to turn acrylic skins into funky jewelry. If you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.